Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is a very unique opportunity to be able to talk to those people who are looking at innovation, who are looking at possible investments throughout the world. Pakistan, let me start with the fact that in this area, Pakistan is a country, a big population, 230 million, a very great youth bulge, a tremendous human resource coming up. People speak English, and looking forward towards joining the fourth industrial revolution in a manner in which I think the world would be surprised. Only last year, our IT exports and our software exports jumped almost 50% last year, and there's a tremendous boom. This is actually virgin territory for those people who want to invest. With the 230 million people, with a huge number of people, about another 180 million who are subscribers to digital telephones, etc., I think the opportunity is for the taking. Now, the drawback and the problem used to be that how much does the government encourage? The fact that we realized when this government came in, Mr. Imran Khan became the Prime Minister, the government realized that there is discouragement as far as opening up businesses are concerned. There is too much bureaucracy there. So we ventured, we worked very hard, and that's why you saw that the ease of doing business. Pakistan jumped 18 points. This year, and the last year it was not conducted, you would have seen a bigger jump because there was serious effort in bringing people together, bringing people and the government together, and the decision makers together, and the stakeholders together. Ladies and gentlemen, I have felt in life that Pakistan stayed behind in the third industrial revolution. And while the fourth industrial revolution was coming up, in our policies we tended to neglect that. But the train is right around, whooshing by us, and that is where I think that there's a tremendous change with the Special Technological Zones Authority. Only 3 weeks ago, I was in a discussion at night in a Zoom meeting with my ministers and with the Pakistani diaspora in the Silicon Valley, conducted by Pakistan's ambassador in the United States. It was surprising that there was so much eagerness to invest, and they said that they are coming in anyway, but whatever problems they felt they might have had, we had simultaneously, we had the Governor State Bank in that meeting, we had the FBR there, we had Pakistan Customs there, and the Securities and Exchange Corporation of Pakistan, they were there, and we were solving problems on the go within a few hours. So today, the most important thing which I can claim before you is the fact that the government is working with stakeholders. Policies like this, outstanding policies, Pakistan has never had a policy like this. Outstanding policies are being made to encourage people to come to Pakistan and invest. I believe what is important for people like you, importance lies in the fact that you should be able to invest, your capital should be secure, and you should be able to take out your profits, number one. The second most important sector is human resource. Pakistan has a tremendous potential already. All our universities are producing IT graduates, for example, and in other areas as well. So the capital is important, free flow of capital, the ability to get human resource. In fact, the world is looking at Pakistan, the youth bulge in Pakistan, for human resource. Today, we don't want to export human resource. What we did in the 60s and 70s, we produced 80s, we produced brilliant doctors, brilliant engineers, and the structures in Pakistan were not enough to accommodate them. So a lot of people, some of you probably sitting here, were because of circumstances, they emigrated out. We don't want that to happen anymore. So things in Pakistan are working simultaneously. All wheels are turning together. The fact that the legislation is there, the fact that organizations, Mr. Amish Hashmi, Mr. Razak Daud is here, people who will help you like a one window. I was just making a comment that today Pakistan is a one window country in the sense that the bureaucracy and the government is bending backwards to catch up to this fast train going up. We're also coming up with a data security bill. Act. What is important is that data people, IT companies coming to Pakistan must feel secure, that their data will be secure, that data, if there is an issue, it will be deliberated upon with arbitration in international courts, for example. But data, for example, the deals, the European data legislation is such that if US data goes to Europe for analytics, it is US data in Europe, in their possession, in their control. If European data goes to the US, it is in their control. So what happens is, the people who want analytics done, and everything today works in analytics, neural networks, everything is analytics. The data is tremendous. Pakistan has probably more data today than what it can analyze. Not even 1% is for us to, today we have the capability to analyze. And so is the same is true throughout the world. And it will keep on growing. Data is like, everybody knows data is like oil. So the ability for IT companies to be able to analyze data in Pakistan after our data bill is on, that will also be given security. So what is happening in Pakistan? Pakistan is going towards digitization in all respects. In government, government of Pakistan is becoming digital. The second thing is digital empowerment of the people, the ability to open accounts, to the fact that we can transfer money through our cell phone. The ability, for example, Pakistan has done tremendous organized work. Ladies and gentlemen, you must take pride in the fact, those of you who are Pakistanis here, you must take pride in the fact that the way Pakistan handled COVID is a unique and a small glimpse into what Pakistan's thinking is today like. Pakistan fared much better with the same genetic picture, with the same weather as our neighbors. What was the difference? The difference was decision making. The difference was that we analyzed data. The difference was compassion with the people. The difference was that we then went into smart lockdown because we couldn't do total lockdowns. We couldn't afford to do total lockdowns. So the landscape which was presented by the Prime Minister of Pakistan to our bureaucracy was compassion. We can't afford a total lockdown. Countries can, which have deep pockets because of corruption and mismanagement. Pakistan does not have deep pockets. We compensate those deep pockets with smart decision making. So that is, like I said, that is one example where we worked hard, we were disciplined enough. Maybe 100% never follow what is being said. But compared to a lot of countries where people protested against the rules being enforced, people protested against masks, people were protesting against vaccines, you did not see that happen in Pakistan. So a tremendous change. So what I'm saying is that in Pakistan, we are looking for digital empowerment of people through ability to exchange funds and money, and that's again a huge market. Imagine 180 million telephones, which are digitally empowered to exchange money. We are empowering women at the same time. In fact, in STZA already, if you go, there's a huge percentage of women who are participating in IT and incubators which they have set up. We have, like I said, we've gone up in IT exports. We are looking at artificial intelligence. There are companies who have invested in universities to produce blockchain specialists. For example, in the IBA in Sakhar, there's a contract with an IT company, produce as many blockchain experts and they will give employment to all of them. That kind of basic investment, this is not a very long term, this is a 2-3 year investment. When you get a product, we get a resource. The most valuable resource today in the world is intellect. And intellect added to data and the ability to analyze. So in blockchain, for example, that is happening. Artificial intelligence, software, cyber security. And let me add to that. Today we met a company looking at virtual and augmented reality and gaming, for that matter. Pakistan has a tremendous resource in all that. So ladies and gentlemen, let me make it short. Number one, the law is there. Your capital can come in. There's no tax. There's no income tax. There's no sales tax on what you do. Your capital and your profits can go out, the first thing. There is a one window situation that you don't have to go to all these companies, the Securities Exchange Corporation, etc. Mr. Amir Hashmi and his organization will make sure that he's a phone call away. You have any issue, the STZA zone authority itself will handle those issues. So with these two abilities and the fact that this is a virgin territory, a big country opening up, tremendous potential. So I think the world is changing and Pakistan is there. Pakistan is changing. Pakistan, tremendous opportunities exist in Pakistan for all kinds of investment. In the tourism industry, Pakistan, because of the fact that it was relatively insecure for a small period, for a decade or so, people did not know, people did not realize that there are tremendous tourism opportunities in Pakistan. So it's a country which is increasing its buying power. It's a country which is making the good, smart decisions. It's a country which is looking for investments, in fact, laying down the red carpet for investments, because we believe that our people stand to gain, our youth bulge stands to get employed in all these sectors. I visited a few countries in the past couple of years, and they're eagerly looking at Pakistani human resource. In fact, a prime minister of a country mentioned the fact that you have 100,000 people, I want to get them in today. And I said, today Pakistan does not want to export people, Pakistan wants to export its intellect and know-how and accommodate all knowledge from abroad and to be able to analyze and help the world and help itself get along. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pakistan, welcome to our country, and please do invest. Any issue, I promise I am there to help you individually if that it comes to that. Thank you.